Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this edition of Supernatural Sundays. All right. Woo! Supernatural Sunday. As always, I'm your host, Mike, and over here is the skeleton who loves to eat gelatin, Norm. How you doing, Norm? Good? We'll eat in a bit, okay? Just relax. We'll get something to eat in a bit. All right. Now, thank you guys so much for joining us today. Thank you for all the views and the comments from the last video. Appreciate it greatly. Always do. So today going forward, we are going to jump into episode 19, I believe, of season 4. Let me get my handy dandy supernatural notes and we'll look and see what we got. I'm pretty sure it's 19. Yes, it's episode 19 entitled Jump the Shark. Okay, now this episode stars Jake Abel, who plays Adam, and he played in 8 episodes of Walker, Texas Ranger with Jared Padalecki, the reboot. He also played in Percy Jackson's Sea of Monsters and the horror film Malignant. Now, I've seen all that. He was great in all those. The episode also stars Aditi Pfeiffer, who plays Kate, and she was in the movie Blue Demon. She played in 42 episodes of the TV series Sybil, and she was in the movie Falling Down with, I believe it was Michael Douglas. Now, I haven't seen Sybil or Falling Down, but I did watch Blue Demon. It was a shark movie. Of course, I watched it. It was decent. Okay, she did good. Okay, so the plot for this episode is that the Winchesters discover they have a half-brother named Adam, whose mother vanishes just as a long-dormant grave robber resumes his ghoulish career. So they get this call on John's phone, which Dean still has. He keeps it in the glove box, keeps it charged up. So they get this call from Adam, and they find out that Adam tells him who he is and says that, John's his father. And they tell him that John's dead, so they set up a meeting to meet with him. Automatically, Dean assumes that it's either a demon or a shapeshifter or something that's trying to get a rise out of them and capture them or try to track them down and kill them. So he prepares for the worst, not realizing, hey, this could actually have happened. Sam tries to convince him of this, but he just doesn't see it at first. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into scenes from season 4, episode 19, Jump the Shark. Here we go.
Hey, how'd you sleep?
How do you think?
Isn't that Dad's phone?
Hello?
Is this John?
He can't come to the phone. Can I help you?
No. I need to talk to John. This is Adam Milligan.
John died more than 2 years ago. Who is this?
I'm his son.
Thank you. What are you...
One sip of Jesus juice. This evil bitch is gonna be in a world of hurt.
And what if he's not possessed?
Then he is a shapeshifter.
Hence the silver.
This thing is gonna bleed. I mean, using Dad as bait. That's the last mistake of its short, pitiful life.
There's an entry in Dad's journal from January of 1990 saying he's headed to Minnesota to check out a case. That's roughly, about 9 months before the kid was born.
Coincidence.
Coincidence. Next 2 pages in the journal, torn out.
You're not actually buying this, are you?
Look, man, I don't want to believe it either. I'm just saying it's possible. I mean, Dad'd be gone for weeks at a time, and he wasn't exactly a monk.
Well, now I'm thinking about Dad's sex. Stop talking.
Maybe he slipped one past the goalie.
Dude.
Adam,
You Sam?
Yeah, this is Dean.
Hey. How'd you know my dad?
We work together.
How did he die?
On the job.
Hey, Adam, how you doing?
Oh, I'll take that. I'm very thirsty.
So, when's the last time you saw John?
I don't even know. It's a couple years.
Why'd you decide to call him now?
I didn't know who else to call. He's the only family I got. My mom's missing.
Really? I'm sorry. For how long?
It's tragic, really. But if you're John's kid, how come we've never heard of you?
John and me didn't really know each other. Not until a few years ago, anyway.
What do you mean?
My mom never talked about him. My mom's a nurse, and Dad came into the ER pretty torn up. Hunting accident or something.
When'd you finally meet him?
When I was 12. My mom had one of his old numbers, and after I begged her, God, 24/7, she finally called him. You mind?
Oh, please, dig in.
He would swing by once a year or so. He taught me poker and pool, and even bought me my first beer when I was 15. He had this beautiful 67 Impala.
Oh, this is crap. You know what? You're lying.
I'm sorry, but who the hell are you to call me a liar?
We're John Winchester's sons. That's who. We are his sons.
I've got brothers.
No, you don't have brothers. Look, man, I don't know if you're a hunter or what kind of game you're playing here.
I have never been hunting in my life.
Whatever. I'm out of here. Come on, Sam.
Being a hunter isn't a job, Adam. It's life. You're pre-med. You got a girlfriend, friends? Not anymore, you don't. If you're really gonna do this, you can't have those kinds of connections. Cut them out and you don't look back. There's only one thing you can count on. Family.
Sam, I talk to you. What the hell was that?
What?
Hunting is life. You can't have connections. Dad gave you that exact same speech, remember?
Turns out Dad was right.
Since when?
Since always. Dad did right by us. He taught us how to protect ourselves. Adam deserves the same.
Listen to yourself, man.
You think I'm wrong?
I think it's too late for us. This is our life. This is who we are, okay? And it's fine. I accept that. But with Adam, he's still got a chance, man. He can go to school. He could be a doctor.
What makes Adam so special?
What, are you jealous of the kid?
Are you?
Adam doesn't have to be cursed.
He's a Winchester. He's already cursed.
Okay, like I said, Dean at first didn't want to believe it. He didn't want to think that, that, hey, I've got a brother, another brother or half brother. But then they found out later on that Adam was actually their brother, per se. But then towards the end of the episode, they found out that it was ghouls that were feasting on that feasted on Adam's mother and eventually killed Adam, and they absorbed their memories. So they were just scavenging for food and thought, okay, these two guys are hunters. Let's just get them. They killed our father. Let's get them. So apparently John killed their dad. So then they killed Kate and Jake, and then went after Sam and Dean in revenge. This episode shows Sam being more like his dad, in wanting to, at the time, teach Adam how to be a hunter. He was telling him, hunting's not just a career, it's a life. If you have like outside people, if you have friends, you have a girlfriend, you're pre-med, all that's gone. You need to let it go because all you're going to do is put them in danger. Dean doesn't feel the same way. Dean's skeptical about it. He's like, Dad didn't want us to know about him for a reason. He wanted him to have a life and all this stuff, the same way Sam wanted a life. So he was totally against teaching Adam anything at all. But like I said, come towards the end, they find out that it's a ghoul trying to get revenge on them. So, but they did end up giving Adam the hunter's burial at the end of the episode. Um, I guess they did the mother the same way. Maybe, I don't know. They didn't show that, but they did Adam. That way, because he deserved it, and that way nothing else could take him over. Evil per se. So that was a great episode. To see Sam, actually finally putting forth what his dad, well, not finally, but see Sam kind of turning into his dad and realizing, hey, dad was right about this and dad was right about that. Even though at the time Sam didn't agree with it. Sam wanted the same thing that John wanted for Adam, was to have a life, go to college, that kind of thing. He was real proud of Sam, and we found out that he did tell Sam that he was proud of him over that. Even though he wanted him back as in the family, but he knew Sam had to go his own way. Sometimes we want to cling on to our children, as much and as long as we can, not realizing that at some point in time we got to let them go. We got to let them do their own thing. We got to let them, get to hold their own job, hold their own family, have their own place. We just got to learn to let go, and that, for me, that was hard. In my situation, it was difficult because, of course, I divorced, so that was difficult in itself, and then it was hard, wanting to spend time with the kids and actually getting to every once in a blue, every weekend, and then having to watch them leave and not be able to go with them, and not be able to wake up the next morning and be like, "Oh, okay, here I got to fix breakfast for the kids," that kind of thing. You miss being a dad when you don't have it. I did for a long time, and I mean, I got thoroughly depressed over the situation, but that's neither here nor there. We're not going to get into that old ball of wax. Um, but you do want to cling on to your kids, and John wanted to, but he also knew he had to let Sam go. So now Sam's doing the same thing here. He's trying to be more like his dad and say, I need to teach Adam all of this to protect himself. Not realizing, of course, until the end of the episode, that they were ghouls. But yeah, that was a great episode, a really deep episode. Um, I enjoyed it. I really did. It was kind of like a monster of the week type deal, but in the end, it did play out into the season because it showed, Sam and Dean still at odds with each other over certain things. Um, with the demon blood and all that stuff, and then now this, and it was a good episode. It was a really good episode. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to move on to the next. Well, before we do, I got to do it. I got to do it every episode. It's just the way it rolls. There's going to be, just like last week, it's going to be a before coffee and an after coffee. And always remember, of course, I got the saying: first cup, best cup. Here we go.
Oops. All right, maybe we should get back inside.
Good. All right, now we're going to go into the next episode of Supernatural, and I just want to throw in here real fast. I really do. I just want to throw this in there real fast. I appreciate each and every one of you watching these videos. Even if you're not a subscriber, even if you don't like the video, even if you don't comment on the video. I wished you would do all of that. But even though you don't do any of that, even if you just watch the video, I appreciate you. Okay? Just letting it out there. I appreciate each and every one of you who take time out of your day to watch my videos. I greatly appreciate that. All right, now jumping into season 4, episode 20, The Rapture. Now, this was a great episode, a really, really great episode. This episode stars a Wynn Everett, who played Amelia. She played in a movie called Patsy and Loretta, which I've never seen. She played in Palmer. I've never seen that. And she played in 8 episodes of a TV series called Sweet Magnolias, which I've never seen that. Then we have a Sydney Imbeau, and I think I'm saying that name correctly. Not for sure. What do you think, Norm? Did I mess it up? Yeah, I messed it up. And she plays Claire, and she played in the movie Marmaduke. She played in Marley and Me, The Puppy Years, and she played in Really Me for 26 episodes. Now she plays Claire. I think that's Cass's daughter in this episode. Well, not Cass, but John. What's his name? Jimmy. And then we have a Aaron Pearl who plays Roger in this episode. He played in 2014's version of Godzilla. He also had a small role in Man of Steel, and he played in the Sci-Fi Pictures original movie Vipers with Tara Reid, which was very good. I enjoyed that immensely. It was about, of course, snakes. Okay, now in this episode, Castiel schedules a meeting with Dean, but when the boys arrive at the location, they find Cass is gone, and his vessel, Jimmy Novak, has no memories of Cass and wants to return to his wife and daughter. Dean and Sam persuade him not to go because it could put his family in danger, but he sneaks off and anyways, leaving Dean and Sam rushing to find him before demons catch up to Jimmy. This was a great episode. Cass, Misha Collins, was if you watch this episode and you do not get to the end of this episode and you do not realize that Misha Collins was perfect for the role of Castiel and Jimmy Novak, then I don't know what to tell you. This episode was incredible. His acting is phenomenal. It always is, but especially in this episode. From the voice change, he sounds different when he's Jimmy. He sounds completely different. His voice is not as deep. And you got to know it's hard to talk in a deep voice like that for a whole, episode, for a whole, scene. But Cass goes to Dean because he needs to talk to him he needs to tell him something. And then when the boys go to the location where he was supposed to meet them at, they find Jimmy, but Cass is gone. So then, Jimmy wants to return to his original life. He wants to go back to his wife. He wants to find, see his daughter and all this stuff. So they tell him, no, you're an angel's vessel. Even though you don't remember anything, they're going to think you know stuff. So the demons are going to be after you, and you're just going to put your family in danger if you go back to them. But he sneaks off anyway and goes back. And then guess what? Demons show up. Sam and Dean fight them off. They save the family. And then they decide to split up. Jimmy's like, I can't put you in danger. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't even know why this is happening. So they split up, and then they get caught by demons anyway. So then Jimmy and Sam and Dean have to go save Jimmy's family. And then at some point throughout that, there's a lot of stuff that goes on. But anyways, before I go any further, let's go ahead and jump into the 2 clips from Season 4, Episode 20, The Rapture. Here we go.
We need to talk.
I'm dreaming, aren't I?
It's not safe here. Someplace more private.
More private. We're inside my head.
Exactly. Someone could be listening.
Yes, what's wrong?
Meet me here. Go now.
What did he say, Dean? What was so important?
If I knew, would I be here? There was a fight here.
Between who?
Check it out. Look familiar?
Yeah, it does.
Annie used something like that to wish the angels back to the cornfield.
So what? Cass was fighting angels?
I don't know. Cass! Hey, Cass!
What's going on?
Just take it easy, take it easy. It's me,
Who's me?
Jimmy. My name's Jimmy. Where the hell is Castiel?
He's gone.
Okay, I didn't faint. I got a little dizzy.
Well, you can call it whatever you want. Point is, you used to be strong enough to kill Alistair. Now you can't even kill stunt demon number 3.
What do you want me to say about it, Dean?
Well, for starters, what's going on with your mojo? I mean, it's yo-yoing all over the place. You're scaring me, man.
I'm scared myself. Hello? Who is this? Hey. It's your wife.
Amelia. Oh my God.
All right, they're expecting you to come alone. That's exactly what you're gonna do.
We'll work our way through the catwalks. We'll be right behind you.
All you gotta do is stay calm and stall. Let us do our job.
You want me to stay calm? This is my family we're talking about.
Listen to me, this will work. You understand? Nobody's gonna get hurt.
Yeah, whatever.
There's no way they're expecting him to come alone, Dean. You know this is probably a trap.
Yeah, I know. That's why I have a plan.
Castiel, you son of a bitch! You promised me my family would be okay. You promised you were gonna take care of them. I gave you everything you asked me to give. I gave you more. This is the thanks I get? This is what you do? It's your heaven? Help me, please. You promised, Cass. Just help me.
Of course we keep our promises. Of course you have our gratitude. You served us well. Your work is done.
Please, Castiel. I need you to just take me. Take me, please.
As you wish.
What were you gonna tell me?
I learned my lesson while I was away, Dean. I serve heaven, I don't serve man. And I certainly don't serve you.
Go on inside. I want to show you something. All right. So, what's the big demon problem?
You are. This is for your own good.
Guys? Hey, hey.
This isn't funny. Guys! Hey! Guys!
Okay. Very good episode. Very, very good episode. We see there towards the end, when they go to save Jimmy's family, Castiel prays, or Jimmy prays to Castiel. He says, "You swore that you would protect them. I need you to help me, please." So then Castiel jumps into Jimmy's daughter, Claire, because she is, I guess, what you'd say, worthy uh, to be a vessel. Um, but Jimmy ends up getting shot and begs Castiel to come back into him, and that's exactly what Cass does. So then, when Cass goes to walk away, he looks at Dean and he says, "I've learned something. I serve heaven, not humans, and especially not you." Um, that you could tell by the look on Dean's face, it kind of broke his heart a little bit when he said that to him. But because I mean, it was just in like episode 18, I think it was, when we discussed it. Cass was finally starting to turn a leaf, turn a page, and become more sympathetic towards helping Dean. We saw that. And now it's going back to the way it was because of whatever happened while Cass was away, wherever he was. Um, so in this episode, like I said, we get to see Cass before he was Cass. We get to see him as Jimmy Novak, and we go through several scenes there where it shows him, testing. No, not testing, but showing. You know, he puts his arm in boiling water, and there's no scar. There's nothing wrong. Going through all this stuff, and then finally he gives himself up as Cass for to use him as a vessel. So we see leading up to that. Um, you by the end of the episode, you realize how much of a toll this whole thing has taken on not only Cass and not only Jimmy, but on Kate and Claire. Um, they had no idea where Claire had no idea where her dad was. Kate had no idea where her husband went, what was going on, if he was alive, if he was dead. She had no clue. Neither one of them did. Um, so it took a toll on them. And then to have him back and have to split up because he was a vessel for an angel. I mean, come on. I mean, that had to be tough as well. But anyways, you really end up caring for him and his family by the end of the episode. Um, and it just proves what a remarkable actor Misha Collins is. To be able to play two different characters in the same episode. Now I know we've seen that several times, like Double Impact with Van Damme and things, but those were not made for TV episodes or shows. Those were big budget films, but to see somebody play two different roles like this has got to be kind of tough. I mean, I know it's not like you're doing something miraculous, but I mean, to learn two different sets of, well, I guess you'd have to learn two different sets of lines. One's for Jimmy and one's for Cass, but they didn't use Cass very much in the episode, anyways. But still, it had to be kind of taxing. But it just proves what a remarkable actor Misha is. He's an incredible actor, and he fits this role absolutely perfectly. I don't think they could have found anybody else to play Cass. Um, and I see why people love Cass so much. There's a lot of Cass fans out there. A lot of Cass fans. Not saying that I'm not, but there's a lot of. Um, then at the end of the episode, we see that throughout the last two episodes, we see that Sam's been dwindling off from the demon blood, and it's starting to affect him. He's losing his focus. He's almost fainting at times. Very inopportune times. Um, so it's having an effect on him not being able to drink the demon blood. Um, as a matter of fact, Dean even mentions it in the episode. He's like, "Hey, you were once strong enough to kill Alistair. Now you can't even kill demon number 3." He's like, "I'm worried about you, man. What's going on?" So there at the end of the episode, after they get through it, with helping Cass and helping Jimmy, they decide to lock Sam up in Bobby's bunker to keep him to make him detox off of this demon blood stuff. Sam doesn't understand what's going on. You know, they trick him into going in there and they lock him in. They leave him in there. It's a bad situation. I mean, here we are on 2 episodes away from the end of season 4, and one of your best players is sitting in a cell, more or less, because you can't trust him to use him because of the demon blood. So, I mean, this is bad. This is bad, and it's going to get worse. I guarantee you. It usually does with this show. But another solid episode, and it played into the season so well. Like I said, this is 19 and 20. We got 2 more episodes, and then we'll be ready to end the season. Next week. Next week we'll end season 4 and go into season 5 the week following. So this whole season, up to this point, of course, we still got 2 episodes left. But this whole season was awesome. This whole season. There was not one single episode in this season that I did not like. I didn't talk about all of them, but there was just so many of them that, I wanted to talk about so badly, but I had to skip because some were more plot oriented towards the season than others. But this whole season was incredible. This whole season. It was almost like watching the season 1 all over again. If you were not hooked in season 1, by the time you got to season 4, if you wasn't hooked, oh my God, I don't what the world's wrong with you. I mean, all this stuff they're going through. I mean, this was a fantastic show. Fantastic show. I loved it so much. Did you like it? I mean, I never have asked you about how you feel about Supernatural. I know you like the horror film reactions we do. How do you feel about Supernatural? Oh, okay. Yeah, see? I mean, if you're not into this show, I'm sorry, but I don't know what else to tell you about this time. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. All right. So we're going to end the episode here. Like I said, next week we'll jump into season 20 episode 21 and 22. There's no season 21 22, I'm sorry. I wish there was. But anyway, we'll jump into the last 2 episodes of this season before we start season 5. Tuesday, I'll be back Tuesday with a Mike's Movie Rampage, and then on Thursday with another classic movie buffet theater. It's almost Halloween time, like I've said so many times before already. So I'm going to be doing a lot of horror films coming up. So I hope you look forward to that. And as always, thank you all so much for the likes, for the comments, for subscribing to the channel, for just watching the video. Thank you guys so much. And I will see you guys on Tuesday. Bye-bye.